Hey guys, Dr. Meatheus here. Welcome back to some more of our road to the league. The sitting desk is on because we have a lot of stuff to do for getting prepared for our summer transfer window. Going to give you some ideas of the team and what I want to do and what I'm going to do to kind of stay up in League 2. Now, I don't expect League 2 to be one that we skyrocket to the top. I expect it to actually be a year to consolidate, but also to get some younger players in. Hold on a second. I've sat down in my chair too hard. Okay, I feel taller. All right, so with that in mind, it comes down to possible sales as well. So let's go through this. What we get first from the board collecting a meeting to discuss club improvements. To turn professional. Yes, I love the idea. It's a nice one. We are now a professional team. Southport is going professional. The board have set a 1.4 million in a transfer budget at 125k. So that's agreed on the season's expectations. We'll see that change probably later. Fans are ecstatic. They love it. I love it. And the board loves it. We are champions. Wilcock praises us. He's likely going to be our goalkeeper going into next season. We are going to take a contract increase. So board culture wants us to play possession, most of set pieces, high tempo, and attacking. That's kind of what we do, but kind of not. We kind of play more counterattacking, play within the payroll, grow the club's reputation, 1-year players for over 33. And yeah, current end of season, we kind of have all of that stuff. We're just going to finalize the deal and just go through 2 years. We turn professional on top of that. So any contracts that we're going to be giving will be professional contracts. Gillespie being fitness, well, he's got all summer in the next month and a half to kind of relax and kind of go through that. We're crowned champions. Player of the week news, Stephen Gold is an absolute menace. We know him. He is likely to probably win everything at that point. Ongoing focus, we're going to be looking through that. Paying for professional change, is it accepted? It is good. We actually end up with a profit. Actually, this is going to next season, I think. Or maybe this is just our increase from being in league football. All of this is up. Our payroll goes up 300k. So that means we need to figure out what we're doing, who we're selling, who is going where. All of that. At least our projection is going to be a profit of about $1 million. So we just need to stay up in the football league. What does that mean for the roster? Let's look at it this way. Actually, first off, I didn't go through youth candidates. So, Demos Antoniou, I think he could be a very good player for us. He is unambitious. I think we're going to change over the youth recruitment wise to change it to a formation and maybe a personality we get more of. Him being ambitious, unambitious isn't going to help him, but we got a Cypriot on our team now, and we'll see what he can do at the lower levels. Good natural fitness, so whatever happens, if he gets some playing time, some good playing time, he might be up there with what we think. I think he could be good with us. But yeah, he's a little bit away from the first team with that. He does have this contract. Obviously, we can give him contracts for more part-time or non-part-time deals. Get a couple of these guys on here. The one that didn't want to sign currently was John Ryan. And John Ryan looks like a good striker. Youth striker, probably a little bit off our first team. He is not consistent. He is good at hitting the ball, striking it. And we'll see if we can pull him in. We did actually make him mad because we wanted him to be a youngster. He wants to take future prospect, and I mean, my guy, you're not this good. Yeah, you're not in any way something I would laugh at. Otherwise, we had a below average intake. Not a good intake by any means. So the rest of the squad from there. Actually, let's keep going. The loans. How did the loans do this year? Well, Ian Ortiz played at Rugby Town at a 6.82 rating, the best one out of all of our guys. 27 appearances, averaged about 83 minutes a game, which is nice to see because he was down there as a regular starter to important player. 1 assist, 2 goals, and he is getting better. So I think he is going to be in our first team likely this season. I don't think we're going to have an under 21s. So I think he's going to be in our first team. And we're going to try to get up his acceleration and everything up a bit faster. David Rendon played at Marine down in the Northern Premier League, Premier Division, tongue twister, words hard. He is looking okay. So he is on contract for another year. I think he's a bit off from the first team, but I think he'll probably go on loan again, and maybe we can sell him. Maybe we can get a little bit of money. Ian Ortiz will likely have to be re-signed. Actually, he's already agreed to join Hibernian at the end of his contract, so that's unfortunate. Foreman, not the same league. I mean, he's okay, but we'll likely allow him to release. There's not any real reason that's in there. It sucks that we lost Ortiz. Pereira, though, down at Darlington. We have him for another year, but he is a bit off from the first team, I think. However, he's probably on par with Jack Patterson, to be honest, is what the scouts and the guys think. And I would tend to agree that he is probably... I mean, Patterson's a little bit faster, has better vision and technicals, but really Pereira as a defending midfielder just looks better. He just looks better. Calvin Ashley, same league. Down here, he was on loan to Withenshaw Town. He's unambitious. I don't think he's going to grow much more than this. And the next one to go through is the RC Co. So, okay player, but again, not great. Our youth intake has been actually not good at all. So we've had to dip through. So who is staying at this point? So who we know for a fact is everyone below this. So Patterson, Tommy Dobson, Ventura, Max Smith is here for another year, which we'll likely try to sell him because we've been trying to. Tyrone Pitts, Dylan Gallagher, Dwayne Lester, Alex Trentigan will be down here for another year as our backup keeper. Kinsella is here for another year. In 2 years will be Jamie Watts and Marlon Tate to 2034. What we also have is Cameron Young. We'll likely try to get him out the door as well. So it comes down to who is getting contracts at the top here. Sonny Davis is not going to be up here at any, like, he's a good backup option. But while we're looking at them at this level, this isn't a starter for the Football League by any means. Although he had a good bit of ball for us this year. And a good last year and the year prior. I mean, I just don't see him going through. Ashton Mee, fan favorite. I think ultimately what's going to happen is we are going to get a better attacking midfielder at this point. But I think he'll be here maybe for another year. Unless we can sell him. Jack Fanning. I mean, this guy could be good. He could be good. My scouts think he's a leading Skybet League 2 player. But I mean, he is fairly consistent. Speed gives me a little bit of concern, and he's been training that, and it's not getting better. I know he's a good backup, but I mean, he's not up to anything here. Reese Harvey. I mean, we're definitely going to re-sign Reese Harvey. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He is going to be our ball-winning midfielder on defense, more than likely, or on support. I mean, other than his concentration and bravery, we could make a change there also in midfield. Wilcock, this man was an absolute menace. Only 57 goals and 46 appearances, 18 shutouts. I mean, this man did absolute work at this level. We might transition him to be our backup keeper, but at 62.5 a year, it could be our goalkeeper going forward. Maybe we'll have a youngster coming through. Aaron Tor, we are obviously going to lock this guy up. I mean, he played absolutely phenomenal for us at this level, and I've seen no reason why we shouldn't lock him up to another deal itself. So I'm going to come in, and this is going to be our first negotiation. We're going to go through it. I'm going to give him a regular starter. He wants star player. We'll give him that. He wants 109 a year. What is he making? 74 right now. We'll give him this. And I'll give him a bit more up front to keep his wages down. Like that. We'll keep his wages down, so at least we have some semblance of not getting absolutely destroyed. Now Harvey. Harvey's been our guy that's been a defensive midfield. He's probably going to ask for a lot of money, I would say. 81. Let's see if we can get him about the same contract. About 12. About 15. That'll work. So Harvey's down. Wilcock at 62. I mean, we tried to get better with Wilcock. I mean, if he's our important player, I'm going to give him 78, and I'm going to give him an extra 20K. Yeah, that's not happening. About like this. We'll walk away. I'm not that big on Wilcock. How much does Jamie Jones want? Still wants to be a breakthrough prospect. Can I get 2 years and say 31 with where is it? Contract extension after promotion. I'll give you a little extra more. He looks like a good development guy that we can sell. Now, Greasley, he can improve a lot, but I'm thinking I might sell him through this. Just transfer list him and just see what it is. There, Gillespie needs a new contract. But we have that extension on him, so he's not going anywhere. So I think we keep him there. Wigan Athletic wants him, but if they want him, they're going to have to play big. Daryl Young, this level, I'm going to see I'm gonna loan list him. See what you can get for him. And Patterson's down here. Okay, so those are our big guys that we're gonna likely try to sign. I'm gonna see with Fanning, what does he want? Just with that speed, we might have to change a little bit. I'm fine with. Who has a clause to contract after promotion? Wilcock has one. So Wilcock is staying. Let's pull this all off right now. And look at this. Cameron Young's here. Wilcock will be our keeper. Gillespie is up there. He's going to be our striker. Dobson Ventura will be in the back line. Gallagher is in the back line. You're 11. Watts is on the isn't the DM. Marlon Tate is here. Lester Pitts is here for another year. 33, right? So Pitts will be here. Max Smith is going to be sold. We'll put Patterson as like 9 here. We'll see if we can sell Young. Jamie Jones, we're looking at getting him back in here. Tor will be on the left side. I think we sent Harvey a new contract. Yeah, we sent Harvey a new contract. And then we'll see if we can send this man out. Okay, and now we have questions through there. Max Smith wants to withdraw his request. I'm going to refuse. Same thing with Young. I'm going to refuse that. And that will be our look so far. Now, Sonny Davis. We might move on. We'll see what we can get here. I'm not sure about me. I'll put him at 15. All right, these are the guys I'm really hoping will stay with us. All right, so let's go player hopping right now. Our National League Player of the Season goes to Jack Langster. 22 goals, 14 assists, 7.25 rating. Top goal scorer, obviously we saw that Chris Tipple. 40 appearances, 29 goals. Gillespie had 29 goals with that. It could have went either way, but ultimately I think it's the rating that gets him the top goal scorer. Goal of the season, Ashton Mee is in here. Matai, and then Tony Batar, which we are looking at Tony Batar because Altrincham was relegated with this. He could be a good player that we bring in for that. So we're kind of looking at him. Coach of the year, I think we will probably easily win this. So I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote for Woking. Woking's coach did a fantastic job against us, and I did like it. But it comes down to the point that we need a lot more midfield. Actually, striking help. Actually, no. Attacking midfield center is what I would like to have some more That's with. Now the window is open for us. We can do whatever we want. Obviously, at this point, it's not there. So here's all the contract extensions. There's massive contract extensions with that. What does that look like here? Is we have a lot of players that will be staying. So Ortiz is leaving. Greasley needs a new contract. We might end up giving him a new contract. Either way, the issue is he does want only squad player at 51. We're not giving you that, my guy. I will give you 31 and give you about 31. I'll give you an extra 20k here. And if we get promoted, we'll give him that. About what he would be making anyway. So Greasley will be here. These are the top three, which I'm unknown of what we're going to do. With that in mind, Maximus is surplus. Cameron Young is surplus. Still is here an extra year. Young, we're trying to sell him because he wants to be sold. And Lester is the other one that I knew I wanted to probably sign him, but I wasn't exactly sure. He's going to be here as well. So Lester and Greasley will be some of the subs. We're also going to bring up our youngster who's 15 years old, Demos Antonio. He is going to be up here and practicing with the first team. Otherwise, all of these guys might be looking at moving on. Sonny Davis is not locked up to another contract, I don't think. We'll see what we can do with those guys. No interest. I'm not seeing any interest besides with Rochdale, but the window isn't closed, or the window isn't open yet. Cameron Young has a little bit as well, but Horsham technically is closed as well. Horsham being promoted may not actually take that, so that'll be interesting to see. So we technically made our first signing. It's going to be Leo Toms from Chelsea. As you see, we have some Chelsea Academy guys coming through. He's going to join us, 18 years old. He is a little bit better, I think, than Alex Trudgen. He is definitely better at shot stopping than he is. Not as eccentric, not great in aerial wise, but I think as an upgrade, joins us for a year. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But I think he's just a good player that could develop alongside of us. Two other Chelsea guys, James Usman, going to be brought in as a wingback. I think we can maybe train his other foot and we get him on both sides. Pretty much a good physical player, 6'4". We can probably also train him if we want to as a central defender, which we probably will in case we need some kind of emergency. He is 6'4", good tackling, markings up there. Not going to be the greatest in headers, but his jumping reach is decent. But I think with his consistency, if we need him in an emergency, he kind of slots in as a center defensive. The last one, another Chelsea graduate as well, will be Steve O'Raw, Irish national here. I think he slots in more as a wingback as well. Very weak right foot, though. We'd have to definitely train that. I think he slots in as a wingback. We could maybe use him if we wanted to push up and play a little bit of winger in our attacking formation. If we're really attacking, he's fast, good agility, not going to win the balls in the air, which makes me think, yeah, wingback is probably the best spot for him. But we're going to bring him in and we're going to see what kind of stuff that he brings us, because it could be really helpful if we get something with that. A couple of guys which may end up joining us after release. Carlos Santos from Tottenham, just really looking for a striker that could come up. While he's not great at finishing, he is a very well-rounded striker. So I think he could develop with his consistency to be a well-rounded guy. But we'll have to wait for the Cape Verdean national to see if he gets picked up by anyone, because he's not actually seen. The other one we've sent, that we've thought about, Azard Myers, another Tottenham guy. He has no interest, but I mean a defender, but I think he might slot in as a midfielder. possibly for us, where he can use his teamwork and work rate and kind of put the ball around. But I mean, while he's great potential, my scouts think, I mean, is he good now? Not really. And on Ambitious, it's probably going to hold back his ability to develop, but that could be a big one. Another one we're going to keep an eye on, Callum Webster. He is a fantastic player, good tackling. He's immediately be our defensive midfielder. In this, we're kind of just waiting to see what happens because he is on loan, and I think that makes sure that he doesn't actually take anything. Like, he doesn't have any interest to go elsewhere because he's on loan. So I think once this expires and if Man City doesn't do anything, we could have a really possible shot for Callum Webster. I haven't found any players in our ESC points. Really, I have 5 that I'm kind of looking at, but a couple of them I'm not exactly sure. We are scouting them at this point, so we'll see how they are in the future. The detriment to that is I kind of fired my scouts because they weren't doing a good job, and now I'm having trouble hiring scouts, so that's a thing. All right, so I have a little conundrum, and I think I'm going to end up pulling the trigger on this. Rafferty Pullen. Now, we tried to get one of the guys from, well, I guess he denied it. Faster we can get. It wasn't Lucas Hogg. It was one of the ones being released. Was it? Maybe it was Lucas Hogg. So we tried to actually put him in, and he says we don't have muscle. So we'll have to see if he actually gets released. If that. But we have a question that I think I'm going to ultimately sign him, or at least try to, for as an attacking mid. And that is Rafferty Pullen. Now, he does have some decent traits. Well, not really down there, but he's good with the point matches. He's, I think, up to the level we'll be going into, or just there. He is resilient, good determination, good teamwork's in there. Anticipation needs a little work. Physicals can need just a tad bit of work. Maybe we can get that up with acceleration and some help. Technicals aren't the greatest, but his technique is great. His passing is maybe passable at this point. His first touches there. How he compares to, say, Ashton Mee, who would be replacing, I think he is, while he's not as good aerially and attacking there, and technical not a lot, and speed's not there, I think he's a little bit better. He is 3 years younger as well over Ashton Mee, so maybe we can get something. But if he gives just as much in the assist department, this could still be a good signing for us. Because Ashton Mee is asking for 80 to 70 to 80,000, and maybe we can pull in for less than that. So he wants to be an important player, and he only wants 46. It's not giving him a sell-on fee. I'm gonna see if I can take this out. Promotion salary, let's take that out. See if we can give him probably this. Years after promotion, he wants 65 now. We get him for 57. Let's increase this by 20 and see if we can get him around like a 43-ish. I'm at 54 at that point. So that's actually a lot less. So that actually would be a good signing. I'm not sure if we're going to get anything for Ashton Mee at this point. I mean, it's kind of up in the air. Of course, the higher teams aren't in a transfer window. They have about a month. So yeah, we'll see what we can do because we're still scouting and hopefully we can find something. All right, so Barnet, Oxford City, and Herne Bay all have offered him a contract. Now they're all in same league or league below. Just as long as Ebbsfleet doesn't give them something, we should be fine. But yeah, that's gonna be close. Steve O'Raw is going to sign for us. That's for 36K at that point. So that's a good signing. And Osman is also going to join us. So 2 Chelsea. One's there. We're getting our scouts in so we can actually get some scouting done faster. With that in mind, say Poland is going to be here. We might change this a little bit and play more with this, if anything. So if we're going to do this, Jones is going to pull back. He is going to be more of the guy there than anything. And yeah, those guys don't join until the release. So that works. Let's see if we can get any big signings because we definitely need some big signings to help as we get our fitness coach in. We got our coaching staff filled out as well as our scouting staff is now going to be filled out at this point. So we'll see what we can do. All right, we went ahead and set a bid to Traore and see if he actually pulls it. And now he is actually a decent center back. It could play left or right if we need him to. Not going to be great on crossing, but really just a center back depth piece. So projected to be 46 to 62. He wants to be a regular starter. Can I give him an impact sub maybe? Or squad player? Yeah, we can give him a squad player. I'm going to give that extension. I'm also going to give an extension. Ooh. 82 at this point. Can we give him like a 20K and have him go down? Nope. I wasn't going to pay that much for him, so we're going to send out a bunch of loans. What we're really looking for is what we can do with some of these players that we could bring in from outside of England. And hopefully we can get a couple players on ESC and see what we can do. I don't know. We'll see. But we're slowly trying to get it. All right. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything from him. Yeah, I'm not seeing it there either. Hopefully we can pull someone in. Is Joshua Turner? Nope. Oh, we'd have to train him to be in the middle. That's a maybe. Eugene Jacques. I mean, is he really better than Watts? I don't think he is at this point. Yeah, I don't see it either. From there, I'd like to upgrade if anything. But Torvik. He could be someone we might sign if he's cheaper. Olivier. Just don't see it here either. Unfortunately, we are struggling at finding guys. Now, this guy looks decent, Max Jones, but I think he's going to struggle again. That's not going to do it there either. Well, we're struggling at finding stuff, and, well, the search goes on. All right, so Rafferty Pullen's going to come in for 54K. Going to come in for the next couple of years. He's going to be slated as an important player at this point. I think he could be good. 2 years for this contract, and if we get promoted, it's another 2 years. So possibility to extend this up to 4. I actually like that contract with that. He is a future signing. Obviously, he'll be here when that turns over, and he is going to be likely the sub here. Because I don't think Tate's going to do it at this point. He's not going to develop as hard as well as we want him to. Gillespie is here. So I think we switch them out, but also I'm looking for just a better player in general here. But he could be a decent passer. There's that. All right, so I made a bid for another Chelsea graduate, their academy, Ginthan Ellis, a Welsh international, 19 years old, does have some bravery with him, but other than that, good tackling. He is going to be 5'11", so this would be our guy that could play a DM at this point. Some good tackling, some good marking, pace, stamina, strengths here, agility. Passing isn't the greatest, but I mean, as a ball-winning midfielder, you're just trying to get him to get the ball and pass it off. So he'd be the guy that would take over if we have anything with Watts, or if Watts has to move at this point. He is a little inconsistent, didn't play any for Chelsea, wasn't loaned out or anything like that. So we're going to see if we can pull him in. He is wanted by Bala, which is in the... I think this is the second tier. Yeah, because this is the primary here. So he's at the second tier of Welsh football, is on the hunt for him, as well as Northern Ireland, possibly. We don't have a transfer window because we're still technically in the Vanarama National League, which is quite hilarious. So we're going to try to give this. He's looking for 20 to 27. Wants a loan move at this point. I'm not going to give him a loan move because I think he's going to be one of the guys that plays for us at this point. Breakthrough prospect, 21K. Let's give him a 2-year with an extension at promotion if we get it. We'll give him 26, so it ends up being about 35 at this point. We probably could have went down more, to be honest. I think he's going to end up taking that deal. Where we're at right now is still about 80K left, but I think this is going to end up changing at the end of the day because a lot of these guys are going to fall off. And yeah, we need to see if we can sell them, but no one kind of wants to buy them because, well, we have some time. And unfortunate, we have to wait for the transfer window to open for the rest of the league. So we're kind of just waiting on that. So I'm going to keep on clicking forward. We have about 30 days, just about. I think it's the 10th of June that the transfer window opens. So, yep, just waiting. All right, Gethin Ellis will join us for $26K a year. I think this man could do some good work for us. I think he could play defense as well if we need him to. But that's going to be a bit helpful for depth. And I think at this point, we are going to wait and see, at least until we get to the next portion, what we have, because that is 4 signings, and I'm not sure what we actually look like on everything. Antonio is actually on the Cypriot national team. So that's interesting as well. So we have that going for us. All right. So you might say, why? Well, why do I look different? Why is this? Let's pause. Why do I look different right now? Well, and why is the camera off a tad bit? Well, that is because it's a new day. Yes, I recorded about 3 hours, and then I literally said, I'm going to bed because it was 3 a.m. And football manager degenerate does need some sleep at some point. So it's a new day, but well, same old struggles. We got a bunch of youngsters in, and I thought some of these guys might be actually really good. It just looks like we're preparing to be relegated, so we have a way to get back up. Steve O'Raw is our first one we brought back, and I mean, no negatives, but not really any positives. So, I mean, good agility, good aggression. He's a guy we're going to be training to be a left wing back. His right foot is not the greatest, so he's going to have to play as a left wing back at that. The next one, James Usman. We saw him. I think I'm going to train him as a right wing back because we do need a right wing back at this point. He's going to have to learn to do that. He does have a reasonable right foot, and well, another guy. He is, though, consistent, so we could have some development through here, but yeah, we're just trying to get something through here with these youngsters. Gethin Ellis. Now, he looks like a good little player as well. We'll be playing him around more of a defensive midfielder. He is 5'11", but good tackling, good marking. I think he can have some good traits with him, good natural fitness, so that should help his physicals a little bit. Yeah, it's copium. Let's be honest here. And then our last one, Leo Toms. We just wanted a third keeper on here, and I think we could develop him. He's going to be playing at our under 18s to start with. Nothing too crazy, but the biggest thing is he's better at shot stopping than Alex Trudgen is. So he's technically our second goalkeeper. He's second. Yeah. We have made a couple of bids also, and they have not worked out. The one we did make is Noel Rocca. We tried to get him in, and well, he refused because he wanted to go to Ipswich Town. Yeah. Pain from there. Otherwise, we're looking through some other guys. Charlie Back might be one from Liverpool. Their academy, not very consistent, but at this point, we need something. And well, he could play a defensive midfielder, but also attacking. He could play all the way up the top. I mean, we just needed something there. I'm panic buying probably. Carlos Santos, we're gonna try to do this, but a bunch of teams are in for him, and well, if anything, he's gonna pick one of these Welsh teams. But you never know. We're trying to bring him in. He is consistent. He could probably score goals. More copium. I almost call him Giovanezzi, which is a racer on our F1 save. Giovanni here. I mean, we're just trying to bring some center backs in, but this one's good at crossing. He can play wing back if we need him to. Good in tackling. Terminations up there. Teamwork. He is a model citizen though. So I think our scouts are wrong with this. I think he could be a good player. We'll see if we end up getting him. Dale Young is out. He is going to be out on loan to Alloa in what is that? Scotland. So that is where he's going to be to start the season. His contract ends at the end of the year in the first place, end of next year. Anyway, other than that, well, it looks like we're Chelsea Academy all the way right now. We did have one sale. Cameron Young leaves on a free to Broomhill. We just wanted to get his contract off the books at that point, and well, no one's really eating up our players right now. And when does technically the season? Well, we haven't rolled over to the next season, so we're technically not in the league yet, which is why we have no real restrictions. So yeah, that's a thing. So I'm hoping we can find, maybe when we tick over, we can find some guys, as Charlie Back will actually sign for us. What we're looking for is some players that can come in, and if we need to kind of float the squad a little bit higher than we normally do, we will definitely do that. But I would like to bring in 4 players that are international players, may not get a work permit, but ESC slots are there. First one we are having for Ashton Me is getting a bid 14.5. We will take that offer because we're having issues getting anyone to want some of our players. So that is a good bid. We will take that. And here's one for Dane Lester for loans. I think I will accept both of these. Are these the same? How are these not the same? What? Okay, they're not the same. I'm gonna accept all offers just because it's good playing time. We'll have Lester pick which one he wants to go to from that. I think that's a decent one for him to kind of decide for himself. But yeah, what I was saying was I want to figure out where we can pull in some international players. So I've been looking at that heavily, and I've been spending a lot of our transfer budget over in the scouting department, just trying to get something up because yeah, I'm not seeing anyone, and it's not great. It doesn't bode well. Maybe at the end of this, where we see the opportunity where things are going to be changing, maybe we'll have it at the end of the season. I don't know. All right, Giovanni will actually come and play for us. He's going to be training as a center back, and we'll see how he is. At least we're not going there. Carlos Santos will pick to go to York City. Obviously, that's a smart one for him because, well, York City is at League 2, and our stature is not high enough to pull him in. Me is going to leave for 14K, so that's going to be nice. We'll have that. So at least we have one guy out. Squad is unhappy that we sold him. Well, they're just going to have to deal with it at that point. I mean, we either let him go for free, and we had to sell him. He was leaving in a couple weeks anyway. Okay, so we avoided getting destroyed over that one. I'm fine with that. When is he coming in? Gareth Jones comes in on the 1st. Preseason's right now. Could we can't technically arrange a friendly, can we? No, let's just have a preseason. Technically during this time we travel somewhere and have preseason games. Let's just let this play out for a couple of weeks, and maybe we'll play a couple friendlies and we'll see how it is. All right, so we're putting a massive feeler out on a bunch of loans, and some of them are domestic, some of them are not. And yeah, that is because I just became a degenerate and I started looking at players outside of England. And what I mean by degenerate, I mean I was Who's doing this? Right here. Just looking at players in other divisions. I just want to cover this. Our payroll budget is pretty much nothing at this point, but we're going to get a couple of guys off. Vinicius dos Santos, he looks like a good player, but again, a wing back. I'm not sure if I need another wing back like that. Omar Wesley, I mean, maybe. Jonas Fadouch, he can play that center back if we need him to. Bulger. We could train him to be a attacking midfielder in the middle. Jack Hill was another one that we were looking at with that, but I think he actually wants to stay in the US, so he does not want to come across the pond, unfortunately. This is just pain. All right, I need to figure out what to do with this. All right, finally got something for Smith from Efforty Town. We're gonna accept this just to get the contract off. Still, some players aren't being set. Fanning is not being looked at. We're not going to give him a contract because he wants an insane contract, and he wants to start in most matches. Same thing, I think, with Sonny Davis. We're not going to be able to get him anything close to what he wants. And so it turns into probably the board getting mad that we sold a couple of players. But yeah, we had to. All right, here we go through the league review. We, of course, won that. We're the biggest overachievers also in the league. Biggest underachievers, Torquay United, finishing 14th. So there's that. Relegated down, Gillingham, Feld, Altrincham, and Fleetwood Town. Horsham and us go up. Signings of the season, Stephen Gull from Beaconsfield. This man was an absolute monster. A free transfer for them. And yeah, he did absolute work. There was no one else. Well, we played through a couple of these guys, but I don't remember any of the names. And frankly, none of our guys are there. Rule change for League 2. It's coming up. Avoid relegation is our expectations. Be competitive in all the other ones. We also have the Carabao Cup and the Pizza Trophy at the same time. There's 3 cups now? That's right, there is. At this level, there's 3 cups. And then when you get to the Premier League, it's just those 2 cups. I forgot about that. They added a cup down at this level. Patterson still wants to start more games. I mean, if anything, Jack Patterson, do you want to be sold, my guy? Okay, we've been able to threaten him with a sale that, well, he's been able to, well, he's been a tad bit angry because of it. We did do some looks at some possible players, but yeah, it's not working out. Maybe once we tick over technically now. Okay, TV rights, we got that money. That is great. Fixture releases. Now we're technically in here. So under 18s will be in a league. I'm asking for an under 21s, but we have not gotten it yet. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I don't know, but I guess we'll see. Then yeah, the board says no. Maybe we'll need to get promoted one more time to really be able to put that into practice. Okay, so I have friendlies coming up. I have things to do. This is how the season is going to be looking. I got this flipped the other way. This is how the season is looking right now. We start the year at Bornham Wood and in the Carabao Cup first round. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to say the least. And we have, what is this? about a month and some change before the start of the season, and I still need to sign a couple more players because yeah, I need more players. All right, both Garrett Jones and Charlie Back have both joined. Garrett Jones looks like a nice center back. He could play pretty much from the start. I think he probably will be one of our big three in there. Dobson Ventura will likely be a reserve guy, which I'm fine. Jack Fanning is still here because he's on a month-to-month contract, and I don't think we're going to change that. So for the training wise, I think having him in the middle is probably best, but the aggression needs some work. Let's do aerial for him. Let's see if we can get his aerial up with his heading. His bravery is good, which is what I like, but we just need to get that heading up as well. So that's a good signing. Charlie Beck, a midfielder. We will probably, actually his finishing isn't that great. Let's train him first as a defensive midfielder. I think on support. Good balance, good stamina, good technique. His passing still needs maybe a little work. So let's give him a ball-winning midfielder, maybe. I mean, what's his best position here? Is a ball-winning midfielder. Okay, so let's give him ball-winning midfielder, and let's see if we can get his passing up. If we can get his passing and his vision up, he could be an attacking type, which I would like to see. Charlie Beck needs to come up and be at the senior squad. Both of them do. Okay, and then we're good there. We're still going through friendlies right now and figuring out. Blackpool wants to come in for Tyrone Pitts. If they want to come in for Tyrone Pitts, I am going to say, if you're going to give me this, you're going to give me something like 300K in this sales. If Blackpool agree to this, 115. Nope, I'm still going to say 300. Nope, I'm going to lock in 300. Okay, so he is likely going to come back and say that he isn't as happy as he wants to be. The RC Coke, I think he is going to go out on loan again. This is on loan to Stourbridge, and he would be an important player for them. I think his development away from, if we had an under 21s, I would do it, but at this point, I think sending him to Stourbridge is probably a good thing for us at this point. Here comes Pitts. He wants to discuss the future, and the fact is he is happy to stay at Southport. Wilcox did his job. I am happy to see that. And yeah, I kind of wished for that money. We'll kind of see. Okay, so we knew Jamie Oriel was not going to get a work permit. We're going to obviously appeal it before we can give him an ESC slot. We have 2 ESC slots at this level, so we will go ahead and appeal that, and hopefully he'll be our second striker in the future. We'll see how this kind of works out. All right, so Jamie is going to get an ESC spot. That's going to help with this. Now the board, we're going to have to delay the transfer because we don't have this. We don't have this. Oh, I didn't think about this. All right, so we had to do a little bit of wheeling and dealing, but it's all right. We got the man in, Jamie Oriel. He is here. He will be... we had to do some wheeling and dealing. So what we ultimately did, I saw Garrett Jones here. He's highly touted. I think he can be a good player for us to play. So what I ended up doing is selling in for peanuts. Tommy Dobson Ventura, he goes to Stockport County. For 1.1, we get his wages off, which was about 50K. And then we went ahead and sold, finally, Jack Patterson. We saw some interest in him. We went ahead and sold him. He's making 88K at Cheltenham Town. We went ahead and sold him for 68,000. So what does that mean? We're still massively over our budget, but that transfer budget was used in order to bring in our man Jamie Oriole. He will be our starter, and hopefully he gets some good time with this because, well, at the end of the day, what we've had is Marlon Tate go down with an injury, which has not been helpful, particularly helpful in things. So at the end of the day, we are also looking at bringing in Ivan Svek. He was at Middlesbrough last season, and although he is injury prone and doesn't like big matches and is a fairly inconsistent performer, this is a guy we could get a little bit of training through a couple of years, maybe 1 year, and maybe turn around and sell him. He's a pretty good striker, and I think he can develop some here. So he'll be our reserve. We're going to be playing with 2 strikers in the sub rotation. Remember, subs are 7 or 9, and we get 5 subs. We're in the football league, so we get the sub a little bit more than what we normally do. I think that's it for our wheeling and dealing, though. I don't think we're going to have much play in everything. We have our under 21s, and these are mostly okay for right now. So yeah, this is the roster we're going with. I don't know how we're going to be able to do much, but yeah, our first game that we're going to be having when we come back is next episode. We're going to play Bornham Wood, and then we drew Bristol City at home in the Carabao Cup. So of course we are going to be playing in that Carabao Cup game. It's our first time in this competition, and we drew none other than Bristol City, who is in the championship. Yeah, no cup run here probably, so there's that. FA Cup isn't drawn until October, so we don't have to worry about that. And somewhere in here we will have the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, otherwise known as the Pizza Cup. It's now changed to the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. I wanted the Pizza Cup icon here because I still want to call it that. We enter in August 31st, so we won't get a draw until then. And yeah, it's all about trying to deal with League 2 competition. Now, how do we look in League 2? And I'm at the front part of my seat right now looking at this. League 2. So the teams that came up with us was Horsham. So there's your 2 promoted teams down. Season preview is looking like this. And yeah, you don't need to see it, because really we're down at the very bottom with Notts County and Doncaster Rovers. So that's also, I think that's relegation zone if I'm not mistaken. Actually no, the media believes we will finish right above relegation zone. These guys are nice. These guys are nice. They do actually like us. Who was relegated last season? Cambridge United, Bornham Wood, and then Leyton Orient were down, and then Rotherham. That's right. There's 4 demotions down here and only 2 promotions. Yes, because it is the football league, and for a second I had to figure out what this is, because there's 3 promotions up, the playoffs are the 4, so there's 4 teams relegated down, only 2 teams down because only 2 teams move up. That's right, we have to stay up in the football league because I don't want to deal with that again. I don't want to deal with that. So the goal for this season, although, is to fight bravely against relegation. We've had a lot of turnover. Right now, we're going to likely have to keep Max Smith at the moment. We might end up selling him down the line, but we've kind of stalled out his transfer. And that is mainly because we will probably need him. Although Tate's out and we have another one, so maybe the next time it comes through, maybe we will send him to Doncaster Rovers. And we'll be able to get Max Smith out. He's kind of a little angry with us, which is okay. It's okay. So, yeah. That was messy. A little bit messy of a transfer window. A lot of stuff going on. Hopefully our youth intake next season is at the end of the season is just not bad. I'm hoping. Because I could use a good youth intake right now. Because we are just wheeling and dealing, and a good youth intake would actually solve our money issues right now. Because we're about, well, it's not as bad as I think. 70K over what the board wants us to. Our profit loss margin for this year is projected to be $1 million. Yeah, it's football league. We'll have to see how it goes. And as of right now, even though we got TV rights, we have no games that are on the TV. So yeah. However, we are selling out the stadium. So we played Everton and it was sold out in a friendly. So maybe we'll have some good games that might damn well sell out. Maybe. I don't know. So thanks for hanging out. Go and leave a like below, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Later.